When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
They don't call her confiscation Kamala for nothing. Don't take it from us.
And I support a mandatory buyback program.
A mandatory buyback program? That means the government forcing you to turn in your firearms. To what lengths would Kamala go? Well, she doesn't even support the individual right to own a firearm.
I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country.
We get it. Sometimes it's tough to understand what she's talking about. But on the Second Amendment and your rights, confiscation Kamala has been crystal clear. Her gun control agenda comes straight from that petri dish of bad ideas that is California. She can claim to be a gun owner all she wants, but we all know she's the same anti-gun California radical she's always been. Don't be left defenseless. Defeat confiscation Kamala. Vote Trump like your life depends on it, because it does. NRA Political Victory Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. NRAPVF.org.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Reusse with Sports Talk.
Mr. Kolls is with us.
Yeah.
Manny Hill is on a cruise, or he's headed. I don't think he's on the cruise yet, but he's not here today.
He's not taking the Alaskan cruise, I take it.
No,
he's smarter
he's taking
than
the
that.
South one.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, here we go.
11:59 a.m. on Twitter. By the way, congratulations to Tyler Mason for pointing out that this will be the first time anyone has ever tweeted about the Wolves in the playoffs.
Right.
Because it did not exist.
Now it puts it in perspective.
That does.
I was wondering how long ago. It's that long ago. There was no tweeting.
There was no Twitter.
I couldn't even get in trouble.
No. Well, remember when we had Julio on? What are you talking about, Julio?
Yep.
Now I do it 50 times a day.
Julio Ojeda Zapata told us about tweeting before tweeting was tweeting.
He might have written the first book about Twitter.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. One of my
favorite. Is Julio still with the paper, by the way?
I think so.
I believe so.
They got 12 guys left. But one of my three favorite guests that we had on, and I don't know who the other was. I guess maybe Bethany.
Bethany was
pretty good. Bethany Frankel and then Julio would be two of the top three.
Well, we had that one guy from Mountain Men, the Louisiana swamp guy.
I can't remember the alligator guy. All right. Are you ready, Ruck?
Yep.
11:59 a.m., April 6th, 2018. So what's today, the 13th?
Today is the 12th.
12.
6 days ago.
Yeah. What'd you do?
/ cold winter turning warm and fuzzy for Mark Coyle. First, Don Lucia moves aside so the AD can mollify the unhappy hockey boosters. And now the women's basketball coach might take a hike. That would allow him to use the Memphis Penny model. Memphis hired Penny Hardaway, one of their former stars, you know, and hire Lindsay Whalen. 2 / greatest marketing opportunity in history. Popular new coach gets a couple of dynamic ex-Gophs as assistants and plays her final season with the Lynx.
Wow.
Trying to win another title, and is ready for the start of practice in October. Brilliant. That's what happened today. Finally.
Somebody listened to you?
Finally. Those no good son of a beaches over there. Beaches. I said beaches.
You said beaches. You're okay.
I said
Beach.
beaches.
Yeah.
Finally have started. You know, they listened to Sid. They listened to that crotchety old jackass for 50 years, and what good did it do?
No good at all. Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Did him nothing.
Nothing but scandal. Nothing but scandal.
If they, the championships we'd have had if they.
Well, I just run down some lists of some pretty impressive ones, but this is nothing.
The ones with the championships we would have had if they would have listened to me at the U.
So that was your tweet.
That was my two tweets, and in fact, I then gave them their coaching staff: Trent Tucker, Kelly Roisland, who's now at Mac, a good friend of Lindsay, and Shannon Bolden, who played on that team, who's now a coach up at Northland. Right?
Yeah.
I gave them the staff, and then I introduced myself as the Fixer. If you have a sports problem, contact the Fixer. The Fixer has finally been listened to.
I thought it was his WWE title.
Remember when Knobloch signed?
Yes.
And Dark Star was up at the podium because he was allegedly he got him.
He was the Fixer. He was
got
the original
himself
Fixer.
as the middleman between the twins.
Sure.
And he basically just got up there to drive Sid crazy. I want to be up there at the podium when Whalen is introduced. I should be up there.
Just
and
like
then you
Don
go
King.
like this with your
big cigar.
with your hands clasped. You would go left and right, and look what I did. I think that would be perfect.
I think this is unbelievable.
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, you did it. You did it.
And now how do you feel?
Well,
now
it's
on to
funny.
the next thing. You can't.
I talked to
we
Leah.
got to just keep going with it.
I talked to Leah B. Olson last night. Leah over at the Wolves game doing the sideline thing. I said, "Who's the Gopher coach?" He says, "I know. I can't tell you. I know, but I can't tell you. But you'll be happy."
Well, he told you.
I said, "You're kidding me. They're really going to do it? They did it already. This is the shortest search in history."
They didn't need to look any farther once you told them what to do.
Right. Stallings had her press conference. By the way, she was as popular as at the U as plantar fasciitis.
Plantar fasciitis. That's the thing.
Whatever
it's so
it was.
popular we can't say it.
She wasn't popular.
Yeah.
And so everybody was semi-happy that she left. This is
a good move.
This is intended to get some people to go watch a game.
Yeah, I have no idea if she'll be a good coach, but for all the other reasons.
Minnesota, women's sports, women's basketball, unlike men's.
Yeah.
Right now there's some really good boys players too. Yeah. But women's basketball, you can win pretty big by getting the best kids in Minnesota.
In Minnesota. And that's why I told Rook, one thing for sure, she'll get that.
Yeah. If you get,
they're all going to play
there's
for her. 5
good, a lot of. The trouble with women athletes is they're too smart. So many of them go to Stanford and, they go to. Right. They go to places.
If they're going to get a 4-year ride.
They go to Stanford.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. We get one guy every 10 years who can get into Stanford. Reed Travis went there. But, the advantage with male athletes is they're mostly stupid. Right. But with the gals are too smart. They have great
They go get the free education.
They have great educational sponsorships.
No, you're right about that. Yeah.
That's good. So,
well, you did it.
That's
you
right.
fixed it. And I can't wait to see Sid congratulate you. He'll write about it, won't he?
He'll have to walk up to the podium to congratulate
Sid's going to
him.
have to say something to you now. He can't even. There's no way. Since you tweeted it first, he can't even move in on this.
Here's one advantage. Here's one disadvantage for Sid. He doesn't know where they have a women's basketball program. But not a big thing for him. It wouldn't be a big thing for him. But
that's too good.
Yes, it is. Hey, I got to tell you.
So even though you tweeted about it, you didn't think it was going to happen. Is what you're telling me.
Well, I thought they'd go through a process.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd say,
Is it?
He's right. Let's do it. What are we waiting for?
That was the conversation.
Are you sure they knew it was your plan? Because it was your plan to sue. It's just taken out.
The last plan I gave them, which they wish they'd listened to,
was
that when they wanted to do the Minnesota version of the Bean Pot. Remember the hockey tournament?
Yep. The Bean Pot being the Boston deal.
And get the local teams to play. I said, the Herbie. Yeah. It's the Herbie. You need a name. The Bean Pot wouldn't be worth a damn if it was the greater Boston Classic. Nobody care.
Correct.
But it's the Bean Pot. Mm-hmm. The Herbie. We're playing for the Herbie.
That is a great idea.
They didn't go for that one.
Well, that's because they didn't listen.
They ended up naming it the Minnesota College Cup, and it's done already.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's done already. It's over already.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No.
And one of their problems was they had 5 teams, so they figured that they had to include them. You know,
No, you don't.
No, just tell Bemidji, you know.
Sorry.
You know,
Doesn't
have
count.
a good time, have a lot of success, and hey, all of our teams will every 4 years will come up and play a 2-game series against you. But
Fair enough.
Mankato, St. Cloud, Duluth, and
the
Gophers.
Yeah, that would have been
let's do
good.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, I didn't. Yeah, I don't.
The
even,
Herbie.
I don't even remember the Herbie, but I could see how that would work. better
Coyle
than
wasn't
the,
around to turn down the Herbie. That was his predecessor, Norwood, who I think that was Norwood. Norwood was in on that.
I can't remember.
I miss Norwood. I still got his.
Who doesn't?
I still got his
Who's
cell
better
phone.
copy
I
coming?
still got his cell phone. But
What's he
I don't
doing
think
now?
he answers it. I don't know what he's doing. I'm staying low. Staying low. I got to tell you about a driving incident I had today.
What happened?
No, nothing big. It's just kind of interesting. We'll be back.
Okay.
I'm on 394 today, coming in about 10:30. But I'm following the guy in front of me. I'm over in the left lane, and I'm going as fast as those people are, but I stay 25 yards behind them.
Right.
Because I don't trust people not rear-ending each other, right?
Right.
And some guy pulls up behind me, some kid, 25-year-old, and he's this far off my bumper.
Your back bumper.
And he's
right.
going like this.
Right. He's shaking
And,
back and
he
forth.
can see me looking in the rearview mirror, and he gives me the double flange.
Oh, that's going to make me slow down.
But there's nowhere, if I was going faster, it wouldn't get him anywhere because the traffic was over here.
Right.
And then when he finally gets by me, goes by, veers, and then out the window with the finger.
He's really mad at you.
Yeah.
It wasn't Sid, was it?
I think that's the hat trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
rear view mirror.
ride on the bumper.
Right.
Yep.
The ride on the bumper, 2 feet.
Yep.
And then the double over the steering wheel.
That's like an exclamation
That's
point.
2.
Especially if they shake it. It's like,
That's a short-handed goal there. That's a really
That's
good
2,
goal.
but it's really 4.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got 4 fingers
and
there.
then out the window, man.
We're up
just
to 5.
Going crazy, ready to kill himself. But he's going nowhere.
Did he look at you when he went by? Did he give you a look?
Yeah.
I found when I'm the recipient of that finger, I like to look over at him and give him blow him a little kiss. That really drives him over the top.
What's the deal here?
Yeah.
I don't want to hit the Chevy in front of me.
I like when they go,
KC's.
after a couple fingers, I like to just go. Sorry, that was just for you 3 in the studio.
You're just
guy,
practicing for tonight. That's
I
fine.
often judge it by the car.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, you
It
did.
was an older
He was
vehicle.
barging.
It was like a 15-year-old vehicle where the guy
Didn't care.
Down on his luck.
Did he?
And those guys, you don't want to mess with them. They might.
My car is 12 years old right now. I only got 3 years left, right? And I'm down on my luck.
If it's a Mercedes,
Okay.
and a guy in a suit, I'm going to give him the finger back. But
Right. He didn't pull in front of you then, did he? He didn't take
No,
that space
because he
in front
wanted
of
to
you?
get through the tunnel.
Oh.
But he was over in that lane, and I don't know what he was trying to accomplish because there was, to the right of us, there was nowhere to go.
Maybe he had to poop. Who knows?
Yeah, good.
But what you're saying is,
Well, I think if he had a chance,
You never
he
know.
would have pooped in my back seat.
That's just
but he successfully communicated with you.
Yes, he
The
did.
communication was, he was
I think
determined
there
that
was
it
a
was
little ageism involved. Too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think there's a little
Yeah, there was some
ageism.
ism there, Alfred. Yeah. There's always an ism involved.
There's
In
an
fact,
ism. Maybe a double fatism and ageism and baldism.
This guy's so big, I need to give him a double.
Speaking of communication, maybe the best piece of communication I've ever heard from you on this show, even better than when your ankle blew up like a balloon down in Florida with your glasses upside down.
That's some kind of disease.
You said to Height, as I'm driving to the Capitol one day, Johnny, what do you get these days for exposing yourself? And it was Kenny who said, depends on the audience. Rookie said, usually a small applause. And I said to myself, how many audiences does Kenny get to expose himself?
I ran into my guy.
It might have been the best segment I've heard in a while.
I ran into my guy John Kowski at the Wolves game last night. He's there all the time, just as a media member, allegedly. He's still very offended by the shots I took at him at my roast. When they had a roast for me. But basically, when he's the MC, you're not. You're just a side character. It's all about him, right?
Yeah.
And but he told a Lance Rentzel joke, and Lance Rentzel
from the Cowboys
exposed himself in Highland Park in 1966.
Wow.
And I told Dick, I said, we've had a lot of Viking embarrassments. We got to upgrade our material here. There's been a lot of guys around here who've done a lot of stuff. We can't go back 52 years here for our Lance Rentzel joke. He was offended that I was giving him a hard time.
Was he Mr. Ed? I mean, was it memorable?
No. He was He ended up being married to Joey Heatherton.
Yes.
Remember that?
But I thought he was a Cowboy. Did he play for the
later
Vikes?
on.
Oh, he was with the Vikes first? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he had a deal, and now and apparently it wasn't just whizzing behind a tree, so there was some youth, but he was having some emotional issues or something, I guess. But
because he had to
go
so bad.
Let's face it. Let's face it. You're as old as Kolls, and you never heard of it. The joke is past.
Right. I would have sat there blank faced. Okay,
you can't tell it anymore. You gotta.
That's old.
It's time for an Ontario Smith Whizzinator joke or something like that.
Man,
did he do the tie me up and do anything to me, or do whatever you want? So he tied her wife up and went to the ball game.
Yeah.
Why did Dino
every time I introduce him, I say, "Here he is, Dick Jankowski, all new material, all original material."
Why did Cicerelli end up in the driveway naked?
He went to get the newspaper. It was a backyard.
He went to get the newspaper.
He didn't have pants on.
Else.
Right.
Yeah.
Who
Dino does when they get the paper?
Dino is doing everything we always do when we live in the outskirts.
I took the garbage out of my boxers today. Nobody complained.
Who the hell wears pants? If you don't have to, it's the first thing that comes off when you get home.
I didn't know he did it out in the six.
My boxers are so large they look like shorts.
Look like hockey breezers. No, you know what? The ladies like to take off the bra when they get home. The guys take off the pants.
No, Dino's was living next to Gladys Kravitz.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
But the one that got Dino in trouble was the one in D.C. Remember years ago when once he was traded to Caps and they were leaving a bar and he
I remember that
grabbed a young lady by the arm and then nothing ever came of it, I don't think, but he got himself in a little trouble there. But
that one I don't remember.
I'll tell you one thing. That little SOB'd stand in front of the net and let you hit him with a stick.
Oh, yeah, no, he was
to get a goal.
He was tough.
He was
good.
Is that another fetish that he had? Or is that off the ice?
Or? Was scoring goals.
Oh, okay. I was on the ice.
Finally made the Hall of Fame.
You never know.
And he's still an awesome dude to this very day.
Yeah. I like him a lot. Yeah. He's running a bar in Detroit, I think.
Something
really?
Like that.
Was that where he's from originally? Detroit? Or Michigan?
Where did... He's a Canadian.
No, he's not a
but I think he might be from right across the bridge.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He was a Louis discovery, So
Nanny?
Hell of it.
I didn't know that.
Louis. Yeah, Louis.
Sarnia, Canada.
Yeah.
Good old Sarnia.
Ontario, correct.
I think it's not far from Detroit.
No, it's right on the. Oh, geez, it's not right on the lake, right on the tip of the lake there.
Good Italian kid running a bar like that. Yeah, makes sense.
Right.
We got our T-shirt for the fair. The fixture.
The fixture.
I have to chime in. I thought when you were talking about Ontario and whizzing, I thought you were talking about the Whizzinator.
No, we covered that, though.
Yeah,
we were out of the room.
Sorry. I love it. That's still my favorite story ever.
No, man, that ain't mine. That's my cousin.
That's close family right there. Close family.
Every cousin.
All righty. We'll see what Brucey has to say.
Actually, Bruce is off today, so Frank Miller is pinch hitting with the Your Money Now report. It still comes to us courtesy of Owatonna's own Federated Insurance. And here's Frank with his second report of the day.
Well, stocks putting in a solid day on Wall Street. The Dow up 293 points, the S&P up 21, the NASDAQ up 71. The strength on Wall Street coming as President Trump brushed aside some concerns about an attack on Syria. On Twitter, the president said that he never said when an attack on Syria would take place. In economic news today, first-time claims for unemployment benefits dropped last week. Those were down 9,000. Elsewhere, the Labor Department also said that import prices came in unchanged in March, while export prices were up a little more than expected. And it appears that a Chicago federal court has found that McDonald's claim of extra value meals is valid, and it's rejecting a class action lawsuit. A McDonald's customer in Illinois claimed that the company is tricking customers and that there is no extra value in the extra value meals. She cited an instance where she was able to piece together a meal that cost $4.97 by buying the item separately. However, the value meal had a price tag of $5.08. However, the judge is tossing out that case just like an unwanted Happy Meal toy or those extra ketchup and mayonnaise packets that you didn't ask for. I'm Frank Miller with Your Money Now, 1500 ESPN. Here's Kenny Soulman Olson.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Frank. And I guess I'll take it from here. Say hi to Bruce if you visit prison, if you see him in jail. We'll check your traffic, and it's sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. And let's go right to the north side of the loop, where westbound 694 is now jamming just past Silver Lake Road. It's due to a wreck on the right shoulder at East River Road. All lanes are open there. If you're rolling between the downtowns, westbound between starting to build, you're seeing 15 minutes. But eastbound between still looking pretty good, only 11, 12 minutes waiting for you there. You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Rain and 37 tonight, then rain and 39 tomorrow, and it only gets worse.
He's getting hammered again today. They're not playing all that well. Here is John Haidt with a sports update.
I think all of us in here are all for the Cubbies getting hammered.
Oh, sure we are.
It's cloudy and 50 degrees.
They're not as bad as Duke fans, but they're close. Cubby fans.
You know how I became a Cubs fan as a young kid?
How?
Paul Pryor was one of my neighbors.
Oh, the umpire.
Yeah.
Well, why?
Because
he'd let you go to a Cubs game?
Yeah, he'd get me tickets, and he'd bring home a ball every now and again from a Cubs game.
Okay.
So then I was like, I got to start watching these Cubbies.
That's no excuse. They suck.
I'm like, I got to get into Paul Pryor's.
Their fans are all posers. It's just so stupid.
How do you really feel?
Yeah, but when he was going, they were getting 8,000 people in radio.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Day games. Day games.
Only day games, yep.
50 degrees. Taking Patrick.
50? Wow.
Taking Patrick Royce's advice,
Yes.
Mark Coyle announced today
Wow, very good.
Lindsay Whalen will become the new head women's basketball coach at the University of Minnesota.
I think you should not use the word advice. I think you should use blueprint.
Following Patrick's blueprint.
And where's the attribution that's attributed to Mr. Royce? Mr. Royce said.
Yeah. And then at some point I have to, in his role as the fixer.
Mr. Royce said.
As part of Whalen's agreement to become head coach, which of course is pending approval from the Board of Regents, she will play as Patrick advised this upcoming season with the Minnesota Lynx. She had announced previously that she was retiring from international competition. She had played for the U.S. national team since 2002, joining Team USA after her sophomore season with the Gophers. So Lindsay Whalen, new women's coach.
This is the shortest search in the history of the Gophers.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had guys lined up before, but I don't know. I don't think they had any hint that Stallings was leaving, so this had to be a 20-minute negotiation, right?
But he did it with all the openings. Lots go. They didn't take much time.
That was wired for about a month.
Sure.
Patrick, am I breaking the rules if I sent her a congratulatory tweet?
Oh, hell no. You got her number?
No, she follows me on Twitter, so
okay.
I sent her,
send her a tweet.
I sent her a thumbs up tweet.
Oh, sure.
And you should tell her in the tweet, be sure to thank Patrick.
Thank the fixer.
I'm
going to send her a text and sign it, the fixer.
Actually, Kenny, I'm glad you said that. I'm going to send her the photo of you grilling in your underwear.
Nice. Boy. That's good.
Followed by Pat's picture in at Fort Myers without a shirt saying, "The Fixer sunning himself."
We're superstars.
What can we say?
Nothing will work better than Kenny's picture is the center with the sunglasses. He's getting ready to hike the ball.
And I look like Jeff Lynne from ELO.
Exactly.
And to make it worse, they weren't sunglasses. They were those traditional lenses that go dark when you step outside.
Starting at center for your Alexandria Cardinals.
What are you using for a spatula?
Jackass. It wasn't the Cardinals. God, I'm going to kill you. I hate you. Jesus.
I think the quote would have been on that one.
Go ahead.
It would have been, "Cold hands, warm heart."
Johnny, did they announce when they're going to announce this?
No, I haven't seen anything about a press conference or anything.
Wow.
So this means this is her last season playing.
It also means that she's probably no longer going to appear regularly on Mondays with Judd Mackey.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. Minnesota playoff info. Game 2 of the Wild Jet series tomorrow night in Winnipeg. Winnipeg, of course, won the opener last evening.
Series is over.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. They had to win that first one, and it was there. They didn't do it. It's over.
Yeah, but they got outshot 40-20.
Correct.
I approve of the Wild losing because what I don't like about hockey is that the team that plays the best wins 60% of the time. I want a team that plays the best to win 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And last night, they should not have won that game. Right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they had their chances, and that was too bad.
Got outshot 40-20.
They had their chances.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
Timberwolves will open their series against the Houston Rockets Sunday night in Houston. That's a late start, huh? 8 o'clock our time.
You're overthinking it, Reusse. They need to win. Just leave it at that.
Twins open up
The good news is the Timberwolves game might start late, but it'll be over early. Don't worry.
Well, they're going in as the 15th seed, aren't they, out of 16? Yeah.
They had a good, they're 47. The West was high standards this year. You needed 47 to get in.
The Twins open up a 4-game series against the White Sox at Target Field tonight. Jose Barrios pitches for the Twins. Lucas Giolito goes for
He is supposed to have a good arm. And by the way, Dave St. Peter will be with us at 4:15 to talk about whether MLB might someday think about weather when they're scheduling in April.
Well, you're on a roll.
They
fixing stuff.
The fixer.
Yeah, I got them. 15. These 15 are home for 10 days, and then these other 15.
Well, how do they don't take weather into?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Huh. I mean, why would the Twins have a 10-game homestand before April 15th if you took weather into account?
Patrick, as you know, Supercross in town this weekend, and the riders traditionally hated coming to the Metrodome in February because they had to pit outside, and it was always cold. And so for a while, they stopped coming to Minneapolis. But then they built this new joint, and they decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put Minneapolis at the end of the schedule. We're going to put it in the middle of April. Look what they're getting. Look what they're getting this weekend. Yeah.
News notes from today. Authorities say an enhanced award has been made available for info leading to arrests after a pizza delivery driver was shot and robbed last week. According to the Minneapolis Police Department, a 19-year-old was delivering pizza on the 700 block of East 14th Street just after 10 p.m. Thursday, April 6th, when he was approached by two men. Authorities said a preliminary investigation indicated the 19-year-old tried to leave the scene in his car. He was then shot and robbed. Minneapolis Police Department has partnered with Domino's and Crime Stoppers of Minnesota, encouraging anyone with info to call the Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-222-8477.
Were these just guys wandering down the street? It wasn't they hadn't called in the guys that shot him hadn't called in the order.
It appears not.
And the good news, apparently, it sounds like he is gonna make it.
Mm-hmm. So we can do the. He's going to be okay.
He's going to be okay.
Okay. Because we didn't order sausage pizza. That's the joke you want to do. Only if he's okay.
He's going to be okay.
U.S. President Donald Trump casting doubt today over the timing of that threatened strike on Syria in response to a reported poison gas attack.
Well, he's the one that said it.
Right.
I know, but now he says, I never said. This was a tweet.
He tweeted it. He didn't say it, Patrick.
This was a tweet.
There's two distinctions there.
Right.
Well, today's a tweet also. Today's tweet said, never said when an attack on Syria would take place. Could be very soon or not so soon at all.
Because he was getting so much abuse because of ripping Obama all the time for tipping off their actions. So.
A joint study by Northwestern University and the University of Surrey in the UK found that night owls, folks who like to stay up later, had a higher mortality rate than people who
You're
go to
screwed,
sleep
Hyde.
early.
So long, Johnny.
I know. Researchers focused on more than 433,000 people between the ages of 38 and 73. They asked participants whether they were a morning or evening person and to what degree. The study then tracked deaths up to 6.5 years later.
I got to go talk to my neighbor, the gal that's up on her computer at 5 o'clock every morning when I look out across the way.
What does it say
early.
about people
You
that
think
are...
she's still up, Patrick?
Yeah, she gets up early and works.
Well, if you get up early, that's healthy.
Yeah, 'cause
we're
she's-
talking
she's-
about John
she's
Haidt.
going to bed early.
Yeah, we're
So-
talking about Haidt staying up until 5 in the
I
morning.
don't step that
What
way.
if you get up like 2 or 3 times a night to pee? What does it say about that?
doesn't
Bad
say
prostate.
that.
Bad
Yeah.
prostate.
You're old.
The research found that night owls had a 10% greater risk of dying than morning people.
Yeah.
The study also found evening types had higher risks of conditions like diabetes or psychological disorders.
Or like the first time I was married and I got home at 11. Then I got home at 8. Then I got home at 7. And the ex-wife said, was a little unhappy. I said, hey, we keep this up, I'll be getting home at a respectable hour. I keep improving. Pretty soon it's going to be 1, 2 in the morning. We'll be fine.
A Catholic priest who's been
I'm making improvements.
Self-improvement is
I'm headed the
important to
right
me.
way. This is good.
Catholic priest who's been performing exorcisms for 10 years says that demand for exorcists is on the rise.
Of course.
As more and more pastors become convinced the devil is real and needs to be fought. He is Father Cesar Truque, a Mexican priest based in Switzerland. Well, the majority of people who come to him for help, he says, are dealing with psychological or physical problems rather than diabolical activity. Truque said in a recent interview there is a small percentage who are undeniably facing true demonic vexation.
I'm writing that word down. I love that word.
Demonic vexation?
No, diabolical.
Diabolical.
That's a traffic term.
The presence of the devil becomes apparent, he says, when a person does what is humanly impossible, such as performing feats of superhuman strength or suddenly speaking in Hebrew or Aramaic, despite never having studied the languages.
Does it say anything in there about working with Souchere and Reusse?
No.
Yeah. I was thinking if the devil is real, she just got kicked out of City Hall in Minneapolis. So I think there is some truth to it. There might be some truth to it. Yeah.
Great Satan.
In one,
I think there is a devil. Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
in one case cited by the priest, the devil spoke to him directly, he says.
Darn, now we're really not going to get around, Jake. Way to go.
He said, the possessed person said, I am the prince of this world. I am Satan. And the hairs on my arms went straight up. He said, when you listen to a satanic growl, once you listen to the devil's voice, you can recognize it.
Yeah. Former mayor.
All right, Johnny.
Hey, Patrick, Lindsay Whalen obviously is trending on Twitter right now, so I'm reading through some of these tweets. There's some pushback here.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these people are getting down on the U because Lindsay doesn't have any coaching experience. What say ye?
I say,
As the fixer, what
as
say
the
ye?
fixer, I say it's not a problem. You hire a couple of assistant coaches who are really good coaches.
I'm shocked to find
to
some
hire
irrational
3.
thoughts on Twitter.
You get you hire 3. Stallings might have had a couple of friends who were upset. She had at least 15, 20 fans in town that might be upset. The only thing about this coach, this hire seems to have come very rapidly, but Norwood didn't take this much time hiring Stallings because he didn't care. He had the same interest in women's basketball as I did 30 years ago. So.
What do you do after you win the Masters tournament? Well, if you're Patrick Reed, you put on your new green jacket, you head down to local Chick-fil-A for a snack.
Boy. I love this guy because he's agitating everybody.
3 days after he won the title, he and his wife were spotted at a drive-thru of the chicken chain in the Woodlands, Texas area.
Oh, he didn't get out, though, and go in and mingle. He went to the drive-thru.
He went to the drive-thru. The folks inside the Chick-fil-A took some pictures of he and his wife. He had on the green jacket and his arm sticking out the window. They shared it on their Twitter page and said, "Look who we just had the pleasure of serving at our Sawdust Road Chick-fil-A drive-thru. Welcome home to the 2018 Masters winner, Patrick Reed, with his beautiful wife." Reed and his wife aren't the only people who love Chick-fil-A. According to a new survey, the chicken chain, the preferred restaurant of teens in America, beating out Starbucks, McDonald's, and Chipotle.
Mrs. Ricey's not a big fast food fan, but she likes Chick-fil-A.
But there is no more disappointment. There's no greater disappointment than thinking about it and then going, oh, it's Sunday.
And, you know, the Port Charlotte ballpark used to be the only place that sold Chick-fil-A on Sunday, and then somebody from Chick-fil-A, because they would, like, storm and get them the next day, and they found out, so they can't do it there anymore either.
That is one of my favorite stories from
What kind of a crazy Christian nutcase do you have to be to not want to serve somebody a chicken sandwich?
There goes the
on
Chick-fil-A
Sunday?
endorsement.
Yeah.
What's going to take to get them in my neighborhood? There's no Kentucky Fried Chickens in my neighborhood. There's no Chick-fil-A. I have to drive to the bleeping suburbs to get a good piece of chicken.
There's one on
Chick-fil-A
Robert
does
now.
not do much.
Robert is not my neighborhood, you jackass.
Gotta get across
It's
that.
out of town.
We coming to
It's the
fisticuffs here?
suburbs.
Chick-fil-A do not do. They're more suburban anyway, aren't they? They don't do
I
much
need one on
inner-
Lake Street.
I have one
Patrick.
about a mile from my house.
Really?
Chick-fil-A, and they're also now building a Reusse and Kolls about half a mile from my house. So.
Yeah, but you
I
also
think
have
that-
a meth house across the street. So.
Yeah, but you're going to be dead from staying up late anyway.
They
I
close
think
that
the
a lot.
only one close to us is Maple Grove, and every time I've been there, it's like 500 people in the line. Maple Grove is too busy.
And just one.
It is.
And everybody's in a hurry up there. Where the hell are you going?
Oh, the
You got to
driving
be
in that
going so
lot of-
fast.
There's an area of Maple Grove that has every store and restaurant in the world,
Yes.
and Patrick's right. It's you go in there and you're lost for hours because to get through there is impossible.
Plus, direct message to Chick-fil-A. If you are going to send over anything free, don't bother with the buns. Kenny just wants the actual chicken
Just
patty.
the meat.
the buns.
Yeah.
Double fist those things.
That wasn't such a good idea, he says.
After 14 of them.
Well, and that was the same night the boss took us out to eat at J.D. Hoyt.
You're right. How dumb are you?
So Kenny's stuffed when he gets there.
The problem is it tastes so good. You just can't.
What happened to those traditional J.D. Hoyt dinners? We haven't had one for a couple of years. Right?
We gotta mix them up too. We can go to Holman's Table downtown St. Paul. We got some new locations too.
I'm out.
I looked at the Holman's Table menu. It looks a little foo-foo for me.
Oh, it was really good.
Yeah, I need a farm boy serving. I don't need a
Farm boy.
dainty little chunk of meat. I need a big slab.
The maker of, you guys remember Necco wafers?
Yes. The different colored things? Yeah.
No, they're horrible. I hate them.
I don't like them either.
But apparently, they've announced earlier this week it looks like they may have to go out of business. So they're experiencing a surge in sales.
Just like Ho-Ho did when they
With the
were-
Twinkies.
Yeah, Twinkies were going.
They need to find a buyer, and a Florida woman offered to exchange her 15-year-old car for one company's wafer inventory. Necco,
Sounds like a good deal.
I did not know this. Necco stands for New England Confectionery Company. It announced in March that 395 workers could be laid off if no buyer is found. That triggered a buying spree from wafer lovers. The Boston Globe reports 23-year-old Katie Samuels of Florida reached out to the candy wholesaler to offer her 2003 Honda Accord for their whole wafer inventory. She says it brings back childhood memories of playing church. Hi, Kenny.
I love those. Were good for playing church because those were right on with wafers. Like the host.
Really?
Yeah.
There's one game I never played as a kid. Church.
I loved playing church.
I got to practice it enough as a youth with
What,
my
what goes
hardcore
into
Catholic
playing church? Hey, kid, come here.
No, one of the favorite. That was playing church is
I
one of the
knew
greatest.
that was coming.
We, I think we've talked about this on the air. I used to say mass in my grandmother's basement.
What?
I used to act like I was the priest.
Yes,
When I was-
you'd get a robe.
When I was 8, 9
You'd
years
get a
old.
robe and you'd have the Bible out there, and basically you were just trying to get. It's like regular church. You were just trying to get to the end where you got to eat and drink. You know.
Yeah.
Never appealed to me.
I did do that.
My mom was very hopeful for a while.
I played porn star director.
Kenny, I prayed for you.
Paul, what's his name? What's the legendary porn Paul something?
I was praying for you while I was playing. Yes. And God bless Kenny. Bring him back to the right track.
It didn't take.
You got one more, Johnny? Or should we run? No hurry.
Police say a Connecticut man with a crush on singer Taylor Swift robbed a bank and then went to the pop star's Rhode Island mansion where he threw cash over the fence in an attempt to impress her.
That'll do it.
Bruce Rowley of Derby, Connecticut, charged with robbing a bank on April 4th. Police said it seemed he wanted to propose to Swift, so he drove about 60 miles to Westerly, Rhode Island, started throwing some of the roughly $1,600 he's charged with stealing over Swift's fence. He was at that point pursued by Rhode Island State Police.
She's worth $500 million. You think $1,600 is going to swing
Do
her?
you think he's thinking rationally?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He was arrested
he
after
shoot
a
a president, for God's sake.
26-year-old Raleigh's being held on $100,000 bond.
All right, Johnny. That was pretty good.
That was all right. Kenny kind of approved.
Well, we're going to have to change our schedule a little, Reavers. It's just you and me, but I think I got to spend more time taking credit for the Whalen hire today.
I think you just open the phone lines and say, what problem is in your life?
Yes,
the fixer.
right.
The fixer
right.
is in.
That's right. Now, they did ask me about Wiggins when I announced myself as the fixer, what I was going to do about him, and I said the fixer is not a shooting coach. We don't do that.
There's some limitations to the fixer.
We cannot. No, we can do strategies. We fix strategies. We don't.
You're not claiming to be some prophet or some.
No, I cannot.
You're just you
I
pick
can't
your
teach
spots.
I can't teach a guy how to hit a golf ball. Okay.
Right.
I can just tell you.
Sometimes how
do
to
you want to go for it here or not?
Right.
But I
this
can't
is
really,
what the fixer would do.
Yeah, the fixer.
It may or may not apply in your
yes,
life.
Yeah, but if you're smart, you'll hit it over here. I could do that. Yes, the fixer would. For instance, the fixer could say to the Twins in a week, if Miguel Sano keeps this up, send him to Rochester.
Right.
But I can't fix him.
Right.
I can't make him a hitter.
Exactly.
But I'd come up with a strategy.
And just a warning for those listening to the ride, maybe the first time today, if your garage door is broken, do not call.
No,
this is not the
fixer.
type of fixer he is.
In fact, my neighbor, who's the semi-fixer, called me to tell me my garage door was open today.
Oh, okay.
He said, okay,
again,
close it.
he's not the fixer of everything. He's not the fixer of men.
No, I'm not the fixer of any product.
All right, well, stick around. The ride has got some surprises for you coming up. 1500 ESPN is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis. It is 48 degrees, and the fixer on the ride is coming up next.
To be your best every day, you need proven quality sleep every night. Science proves your best sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. And that's where the Sleep Number bed comes in. And let me tell you, ever since I've had it, my sleep IQ score is just going higher and higher. And did you know 8 out of 10 couples say that one of them sleeps too hot or too cold? Science tells us regulating your sleep temperature leads to higher quality sleep. For many couples, temperature struggles are a real challenge. So here are some tips to help you both sleep just right. Look for beds designed with temperature benefits such as the new Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed that actively warms and cools each side so you both sleep blissfully comfortable. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Plus, special financing for a limited time. Only at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com/podcast1. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the National Football League. Subject to credit approval, minimum monthly payments required. See sleepnumber.com for details.